Welcome back, friends. Today we'll be doing our fourth art project of the school year. We're going to be drawing an owl. You're going to be using crayons to do the drawing and watercolor to paint. That is called Watercolor Resist technique. For today's project, we're going to be needing your watercolors, your paintbrush, paper towel, water, crayons, and a white piece of paper. Don't forget your owl handout to guide you. Okay, let's start by looking at our handout. Pay close attention to the step number 1 and number 2. There's only 2 lines, but these lines will define the rest of the drawing. So it's very important to look at what way are the lines pointing out, how big and long are they, and let's just try to imitate them as good as we can. So in order to do step 1 and step 2, I need you to notice that we have to divide our paper in fourths. So go ahead and fold your paper in the middle, vertically and horizontally, so you will always have those guidance in your drawing to know where to place your lines accordingly to the handout. So begin by making your folds, just like that. Now choose one color, no matter the color that you choose, to do all your first lines. Your drawing is going to be done with one color all the way through. And just at the end, we'll make changes on the colors for decorating our owl. So let's look at the first line. You know it's going to be way on top, but you're going to have to leave some room for the ears of the owl. And it's kind of like a soft heel. Make sure you're leaving room, the same amount of space on both sides. The next one is going to be a big U shape for the body of the owl. So if you want, just make a little small mark on the paper so you know where to stop. So go ahead and make a little mark in your paper and make a big U shape. Just like that. See, my mark helped me to know where I need to curve my drawing and get back to the middle. Now, the third step shows us that we have to draw the ears. So kind of like just extend one of the sides of the lines and draw a leaf shape, just like that, on each side, towards kind of pointing to the corner of your paper. And try to do the same thing on the other side. That might be a little bit harder. It's okay. Now we're going to look at the nose. Is it on the middle of the paper? No, it's a little bit higher. So go ahead and gentle strokes and then apply pressure to make the final detail. 2 big circles for the eyes. So I just kind of like rub my crayon really softly to know that I have them in the right place and that I'm not to get too close to each other or too far apart, and they're the right size. And then I just apply pressure and make my strokes. Now you're going to make concentric circles. That means a circle inside another circle. So draw those little eyes. And the little circle for the pupils of the owl. Go ahead and draw the wings. You know you don't want them on the bottom square. You need them right in the middle. Just like that. Always use your guidance to know where to place your drawings. We're almost there, halfway done. Now we're gonna draw 2 curvy lines from the nose to the wings for the face and the feet. on each side of the body. The next line is going to be for the branch of the tree where he's sitting. So we're just going to kind of make it look a little rough and bumpy to give it a lot of texture, like wood texture. You can always pause the video when you need to. Take your time and enjoy your drawing. Now make another parallel line on the bottom and you're done. You have a branch. You can add some details right now, a few leaves here and there. And the next step, you can add as many colors as you want. Your drawing is all done. Okay, the next step is just adding a lot of different lines to decorate your owl. We're gonna create the feathers, different lines on the tree branch. Now you can outline the owl with all the colors that you want. You can change it. Mine is blue, but I want it kind of purple, so I'm gonna just outline some parts with different colors. You can be as creative as you want right here. Just don't forget, we're only making lines and creating different textures, but we're not coloring with crayons. We'll leave that part for the watercolor. Have fun! Your owl should have lots of different colors and textures with lines. You can make stripes or little hashtags or V-shapes to create leaves. Make sure you outline different areas with different colors. That will make it look really pretty at the end. I want to point out, for the background, you're going to be using white crayon or yellow for the stars. You won't see them on when you're drawing them, but believe me, once you apply the watercolor, these little details on the background will pop. So just like that, create little stars on the background with the lightest colors that you have. Yellow, pink, or white will do. Okay, now is the turn for the watercolor. So what I want you to create is a lot of contrast. So if you have a part where you draw some green lines, like I did in the wings of my owl, I will make sure that I use a completely different color, like a purple, to make my lines pop. So this is what is Watercolor Resist. You combine watercolor with crayons, which are made with oil. And what happens when you try to mix oil and water? They don't mix, they separate. So give it a shot. Choose your color and a place where you're going to start painting, and you will see that your lines will not be covered by the watercolor. And go ahead and use as many combinations of colors that you want. Just remember to try to find the completely different color that you use with crayon with the watercolor. That way you have a bright contrast for your lines. Color your entire owl, just brushing on top of your drawing. Just a quick brush on top of your drawing will do. That's how fun and fast water resist technique is. And now let's just leave the background for the end. But that's the best part of it. And don't forget, you can take as long as you need to make your art. I'm going quick because I only have a few minutes on the video. Have fun coloring with watercolors and use as many creative colors as you want. You don't have to be realistic. You can be very expressive with color, or you can try to keep it as realistic as you want. It's your choice. This is where you make your art unique. Okay, here I am just about to finish my owl. You probably are also doing the background, and look at all the stars, just like at night. Once the sun set, these stars that we thought they were not there, they start coming up. That's the beauty of water resist. You drew them with white crayon or yellow crayon, and now when you're covering them with your dark blue or your black color, they are still there, and they brighter than ever. So that's a wrap for today's art project. I hope you enjoyed painting with the watercolor resist technique, and I hope you get to apply this technique on your own drawings. Drawing with crayons and painting with watercolor, it's super fun. We will see you next week with our 5th project of art, and that's a wrap for our owl watercolor resist project. If you have a spot that is super wet like me, just use your paper towel and tap on top of your drawing. That will relieve some of the puddles that you might have in your watercolor paint. See you next week, friends. Goodbye.